Welcome everybody, it's your boy the Versace Stoner. We're trying something new here. We were talking about it earlier about creating our own infused pre-rolls because we were like the El Blantos, but it's just too much too many grams and so forth. So we tried to do our own, and we did kind of different techniques here. Now this is the dying dreaming rather, and it is with the hazelnut Kief out of X-Rates and OG Eastside OG diamonds. Also infused in there with some of the bud. And that was out of Maine. And then we also rolled it and kind of did the tip there. So this should be pretty potent. It should be pretty good. Let's try it out. Let's see what it's all about. Let's see if it stands up to like the quality of buying one like already done for $20 or $30. It's gonna be a little hard to get lit, but once it does, it will be worth it. Definitely Kiefy. You can see the edges kind of like melting the Kief. Wow, it's a little harsh, but I think that's just from the Kief. Like I said, that side really burning good. Trying to even it out though. I think that will be good right there. I mean, this thing's a beast right now, I have to say. Really good heady effects right off the freaking bat. I mean, with that Kief. And still, like I said, the rest of it has still been infused with, a couple of dabs of the diamonds and then some more Kief. So definitely a good, yeah, I mean, this is up to par. You see this, the wax or whatever, everything just kind of glooping down. It's kind of ridiculous, but tasty. Almost like smoking like bubble hash joints. Very, very tasty. Very, very potent, though, I could tell. I mean, I know the diamonds were at like 96%. The flower was at 26%. The diamonds are at 96%. And the Kief was at 68%. So, I mean, the tag is up there on everything. I wasn't, like, using poor quality nug or, poor quality extract or anything. And that's my one issue with kind of El Blunto. I don't get it. They have the same diamond infused. Right? That's fine. 2 grams of flour. That's great. But, to take 10 or 12 grams off your allotment for that 2 grams is just, something's not right. And when the total tax says 32%, I'm like, makes no sense. I've gotten flour almost 40%. This Kief is more than that. 31 for a Blunt diamond isn't really good. That's really low quality flour, and that's really low quality diamond. It's really not worth it all when you can make your own or make your own, infused pre-rolls very easily. I mean, are they as convenient? No. They're not as convenient as, let's say just buying it and, opening them up and smoking it. But it can be more effective. You can kind of make it more stronger. At least you know what kind of flour you're using. You're using top nug, top quality concentrate, whatever you're doing. I will say the hash does make it all a little bit harsh. But very nice effects, very effective, very strong, very potent, and very tasty. The dying breathing strain is very, very pure gelato fan. I mean, it's just on point. It's gelato times bubblegum. Can't beat that. That was out of Cookie's Farm. We got that Temescal. The hazelnut cream there is a very flavorful kind of extract. That was some extracts. They sell that out in Rev clinics as well. But we got it at Temescal. At the same place when we got the flour. Also, you have the OG, Eastside OG Diamonds. Again, we got that out in Maine, out at 207 THC or THC 207. I can never forget. I always forget which order it is in. That was out in Lewiston. But we're gonna go more into that stuff later and do a whole review on that Eastside OG. Very nice strain. It's a GMO cross with something else. I got to look into it a little bit. Kind of new on the market. We don't have it here. I haven't seen it here in Mass. But putting all three of them together, into this joint made it really nice experience. You kind of got a good sativas going. You got that GMO indica going. It's very heady. It's very it's a nice experience. Because you do have a lot of different terpenes kind of going through this. And that's kind of just the whole thing, of kind of finding that experience that works for you. What do you need for the moment? What terpenes are going to work for you? I just didn't want to randomly throw joints together of different stuff that I know I don't like or doesn't really work because there's no point. Kind of blending things that do work well together and helping you do help. It is beneficial. Like I know the hazelnuts, sativa, but it also helps with other things, and it kind of offset, some of the tiredness that you can get with the Eastside OG with the GMO, and then with that and the dying breed and kind of the hybrid there, in my opinion. But some people find it kind of sleepy. The hazelnut also offset that. Very good, effect. Very rich in terpenes. You can just tell flavor wise. It is on point, very flavorful. Every hit. I can't really pinpoint a flavor because there is so many. But you are getting kind of that GMO, the garlicky taste, kind of from the East Side OG. You are getting that skunky, funky gelato taste, and some of the sweetness from the dying dreaming, and then you're guessing also like some kind of little hints of coffee, like nutty kind of piney taste out of that hazelnut. But it's all blending well together and making this for a very nice kind of sweet, creamy taste. It's interesting. And definitely tasty though. Like I said, a good flavor profile. And that's the thing. I think I would do this again. I don't, necessarily, especially because they do take so much off the tack. I mean, I did get the puff going. I'm going to try to start to do that more. And even like, if you don't make pre-rolls like this, I've noticed something else that you can do that's really cool. Like, let's say, I'm going to start using my packs a lot more. So, the other thing that I used to do with packs is make layered chambers. And basically, you put some flour on there. Then, you put your oil in there. Then you put, you can put, your Kief in there. You can put your bubble hash in there. Then you put more flour. You kind of just layer it all nicey nice, doing the same thing you're doing in the pre-roll. And you'll have a hell of a session with the pack story, I'm telling you. Especially if you do it like slow cook to high cook mode. It's like a 30-minute session. Very, very fantastic. We're going to be doing all that with the packs. And, we've switched now from the dab right to the Puffco. So, we'll be getting into all of that. But very potent stuff right here. All three of them combined. But it is nice. I would make this again. I mean, I have the ingredients, obviously. I would do this blend again. Definitely. Because it does work well together. And, I said it is effective strains for myself. I mean, a lot of people know that, it's not the most effective way to smoke the concentrates. But sometimes it is nice just to have, an infused pre-roll, an infused joint, an infused blunt, whatever you want to, make of it. And definitely a little bit more headier than just the dying dreaming alone by itself. Definitely more headier. Which also, it's just interesting. Concept you're getting also the gelato effect with a little bit of the heady hazelnut plus the the eastside OG on the body and the GMO kind of working its magic in that. And overall for everything, the way I mixed it in here, it's burning really nicely. I thought it was just gonna kind of explode or canoe out like sometimes it usually does when I make these, but not today. Not today. Worked great. Got about one more hit and we'll be all done. And that's about it. But yeah, I mean that was great, fantastic. So I mean, you can always make your own infused pre rolls. I mean, honestly, just you lay on your joint, you got your bud, put your bud down, drop a couple dabs on there, whatever you got for concentrate. Put your Kief in there or hash or whatever you want to do. Roll it up, and then what I did was just rub some of the concentrate onto the tip of it again, and re-rolled it into the Kief, giving kind of double effect. It's a little bit hard to start it because it does burn fast, but it is nice, and that was a great experience. I do recommend infuse pre-rolls once in a while. I wouldn't smoke them all the time. Tolerance will get kind of crazy, and it won't make the dabs as effective, but once in a while, definitely, it is great choice, especially if you got flour, you want to spark it up a little bit. It is the way to go. Thank you, everybody. Have yourself a great night. Versace Stoner out.